Hey y'all, welcome back to Let's Talk SIS with your girl Tameca, where we have real conversations that heals, impacts, loves, and most of all empowers. Today we're gonna have a really good conversation. I'm ready for the conversation. Yes. So my girl Vanessa, she came back with us for another week. And she said, hey, I have some things I want to talk about. So I'm gonna let her try to it's the show takeover. Go ahead and tell them who you are, girl.
Well, hey again, this is Vanessa, and again, I'm really happy and excited that Tameca asked me to come back on. Thank you.
Let's do it, girl. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, nice to have you.
And so, me and Mr. Convo.
Yeah,
Mr. 50 Gram.
50 grand.
What does the 50 got to do with it?
Huh?
What does 50 got to do with it?
Well, you gonna start a business, 50.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you
Listen.
show the nails,
Hey, listen,
man?
he done came back. He got his little nails done.
Y'all old.
Listen,
This old. These been cut.
We like the nails, though.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
He out there, y'all. He subtract his application off of the thing. Y'all can't call him no more because y'all know what that means.
55501.
Go ahead and introduce yourself because we back. We've been in this thing about 1.5 years now, man.
Mm-hmm. We rocking. We've been rocking for a minute. I appreciate you, getting me started on this thing, But once again, I'm back, Mr. Convo, and we ready to go and check this new thing we got going on for today.
Listen, you ready?
Because
Vanessa, she look like she done came with her notes.
Man, I seen
with my
in the book. I was like, hold up.
I got my notes. I
got my little scratches. They got notes.
Listen, hey, listen. How was y'all week though? What happened? Oof. How was this week?
Wow.
First of all, did I tell y'all they totaled my car?
They totaled your whip?
Yeah.
They done totaled the whip, said the whip was just totaled. It wasn't even that bad. However, you know how
Ooh, yeah, you researched for about a year on the
for that. Listen, got the best deal, but I'm believing God to do something bigger. So I'm just
something better for you.
Yeah.
But maybe you weren't supposed to be in that anyway.
Is that what it is? Okay.
Listen, that was what service was about. He's got something big for us.
Because I had this car too. I felt like my car was a fresh car too. But as soon as I got out that car, my luck started to change.
Listen, sorry. Listen, I'm it's gonna take me a little while to fight it because she gotta be,
She gotta be right.
She gotta be nice.
Yeah.
So maybe it's levels to this bezel. So
levels to this levels.
So anyway, listen. Current news. Current news.
Where we going today?
Well, listen, it's been a little couple weeks, but I be trying to be I don't know what I be trying to be, but we're gonna talk about P. Diddy. Listen, let's talk about P. Diddy.
Boy.
P. Diddy is out there
Brother
doing.
Love.
Take that. He out there doing.
Done did. Ain't no doing.
Done did. Been doing.
Still doing.
Yeah. And now he got caught.
Yeah.
He ain't get caught. He just got the blame for what's been going on for a minute.
Well, somebody's got to get the blame.
I don't know if he got the blame. He just got saw in what he was doing as well. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot going on. Because that Nickelodeon thing came out, right? Mm-hmm. And then you got the Bill Cosby's and the
You know what I want to see? I want to see if he gonna hold the hood rule of not snitching.
Who?
P. Diddy.
P. Diddy. I was going to.
No, you know P. Diddy. First of all, if P.
He ain't gonna take the.
He gonna tell.
He ain't gonna follow his own.
He gonna
take that. He gonna tell.
He gonna tell.
He gonna tell.
Listen.
Let me listen to this, y'all. Everybody want to be famous.
Yeah.
But they be messed on up. It ain't even about putting the work in. It's about
he ain't like a little Kim.
They
bugging.
They messing people up
big time.
I mean, it's coming out that they was doing stuff, and I believe that because the love of money is the root to all kinds of evil.
I don't want it that bad.
Like, you can get money, but it's the love of money is what makes it an issue. And they doing a lot. You know what I'm saying?
That bad. You can
I don't either. And first of all, listen to this. Ain't nobody finna be alone with my little kids.
You feel me?
I'm just saying, my kids, my daughter's 17, still asking me can she walk to the store that's right around the corner.
I'll play that. Anyway.
Excuse me.
I'm glad mine don't like to go out by herself.
Like, why is you doing
26?
But anyway, so
don't even
I don't really want to get
like
on
that. It's gonna get real serious real quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't really want to get on Diddy too bad, but
he got on himself. Hey, Puff, take that.
You
Don't come at us in the comments because we just.
Hey, y'all can have y'all opinion in the comments. I ain't mad. I'm all up for a healthy debate about something.
Yeah, well,
however, because nobody knows, just like I said with OJ,
right.
we don't really know
We
what
don't
happened.
really know.
But
Right.
when that's your word of mouth from too many people,
Right.
that's.
If people been calling you the same thing for
Guess
12
who we gotta
years,
call?
guess what you
who
did?
we gotta call
Guess
and
what you
ask?
is?
We gotta call and ask. Cat gonna tell all the business. We got we gotta call and ask Cat if it's going on, because Cat said he ain't got no reason to lie. He'll tell you
Right.
whatever he need to tell you. So I'm ready for it. But anyway,
gonna come out.
Cat, holla at us if you want to come on and talk about
It's gonna come out.
what's going on.
thank
But anywho, let's see. We at the section where we got our respect it or check it.
Yeah, you ready to go with that?
Let's
All
get
right.
what you got.
I got one.
Okay.
This might be a little offbeat, but let's say you with your significant other and you got your personal time, whether it's working out, going to the gym, yoga, meditation, prayer, and they always like to interrupt you. Is we respecting it or we checking it?
Listen, I ain't even got to have no comment. Check that. If you don't go sit down somewhere, young gentleman, sir.
Right.
Like I need to have, if you want me to be sane sometime, sir, I'm going to need you to allow me to go pray.
Exactly.
All of those sound like pray, yoga. What else you talking about? Going to the gym.
All that.
Now, we could pray together at times, but if it comes to the time where I need to have some personal stuff, I'm going to need to be able to have that quiet space.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm checking that.
Because the reason why I asked that was because I've been watching a lot of little shows and stuff like that, and that's one of the things people just been debating: personal time. You need that personal time.
We all need that personal time. If we don't have that personal time, how are we supposed to be good to ourselves and good to other people?
But I do. That's, we might have to come back and talk about
Yeah.
something
Talk about
and make that up, because I think that people, they're not comfortable with being by themselves.
Or with
They don't
the
know.
other
They don't
people.
know how. They're not
That's a
comfortable
personal
with
problem.
You know what I'm
trying to. You need to know how to be alone.
Yeah.
I mean, not lonely, but be
just
alone.
be alone. Learn
And
to center
know about
yourself.
you. Yeah, self-reflect, all that stuff. So we might have to
self-reflect,
come
yeah.
back and talk about that.
Like
Yeah.
that. We gonna park a lot.
What you gonna respect it or check it?
I'm going to check it.
Yeah, we gonna check that.
I like that.
So listen, we've been talking about relationships and all this stuff, and you keep coming back and you keep talking about, you keep saying, but people don't know they self. You say that listen, when we ain't even asked you a question about that, you say, but people don't know they self. And it comes back to people not knowing they self. And I think that today we're going to talk about, the different personality traits, because you got to know yourself and you got to know what fits with your personality traits, right?
Yes.
And I think that also other people have to understand who you are.
Exactly.
Because so many times we're confused about who people are because we don't know who they are. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We don't know what their personality is supposed to look like. So many times I get told a lot of stuff like, you're controlling. Now here's the thing. Controlling would mean that I would want to control you. I'm controlling, right? That would be, you have to control something.
Mm-hmm.
Or do I just want to be in control of my space? Because I only want to be in control of my space, which means when you come in my space, you cannot do certain things. That's
Exactly.
not controlling.
Yeah.
That's controlling my space.
That's
And a lot of
controlling
men
my
say,
area.
you just controlling. When did I tell you where you could go, who you could go with, how long you could be there, when you got to come back, what you wear, how you
Right.
cut your hair? I ain't said none of that. What I said, when you come in my space, we're not going to go outside and you're unpolished.
Right.
Boundaries.
I think people are not used to that. They're not used to somebody being able to communicate. You know what? Once you here with me, we not doing certain things. And they act like the choice is not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
But the choice is supposed to be there.
The choice is
100%.
either you could cut. So I had an ex. Listen,
She goes.
Speak.
this man, we was going to go to one of my friend's parties. Now I'm in the fashion industry, so I design clothes and I do fashion. And so this was one of those parties.
Big up.
Okay. So I say, what are you going to wear? And he said, oh, because I got to look good when I go out with Tameca. Yes. Yes. And yes.
Yes.
But not even just because when I'm walking in somewhere, somebody's looking at me for what we're doing, especially when we go. So we need to, and why would you not want to look like that? Because listen, let me tell you, COVID was the hardest thing to do because I was sitting in there raggedy. One day I looked in the mirror and I said, listen, if I don't go outside, I need to at least take a shower and put on some clothes. This is getting depressing. Right? So he should have wanted to have some clothes on. So he used to say some stuff, man, and I used to be like, I used to be appalled. Like, what are we? Yes, you need to look good. Just like I'm going to look good. Yeah. Julian. We have to bring Julian on the show too.
Yes.
I need to look for good for me. I need to look good for you. I need to look good for them, but definitely for me.
Yes.
But we'll have to have quotes from him.
I ain't even taking the garbage out or something together.
Listen.
I'm not even gonna front to you.
I see some people walking down the streets in the supermarket and Walmart coming up in our work area.
Girl, it is something that my mom said. Shout out Miss Johnny Howell gang on mine all day. But so I'm not gonna lie. So since COVID, sometimes I go outside less presentable than I should.
Okay.
But I never did that before because my mama will check you. Well, who are you? What's happening?
What's going on?
Yeah, what's on? Your hair ain't done.
Yeah.
So when a lot of people have problems with constructive criticism, they didn't grow up in the house with some constructive criticism because my mama was on us. Now there's a difference between nagging.
Right.
My mom would tell us, you need to go back in the house and put some clothes on. You need to, you're ashy.
Yeah.
You need your hair done.
Yeah.
Did you brush your teeth? You got something in your eye. You're not, we're going to this particular place. You wear certain things at this particular place. We going out to, so that's how I grew up. So if somebody say that to me, I'm like, I need to do something different. Okay. Let me figure it out. Now, if it's just because I like it, then that's different.
Right.
Does that make sense? But anyway, so we're going to get into, we're going to talk about the personality traits of alpha personality,
personality.
and then sigma personality, and we're going to talk about beta personalities. Right?
That beta is new.
I know, well, I ain't going to step on your toes. Let's get it.
Well, it's not new. And this all ties into the whole, what you were just talking about, Tameca, with how we present ourselves. If I'm going out with my partner, I want to look good. And I expect him to look good too.
I like that necklace, but anyway.
Thanks, girl. I got it yesterday.
From who? Oh, excuse me.
I'm doing a conversation for another time.
I guess I
anyway.
I guess I can't get that on my neck. I was trying to.
How much time do we have?
We got a few little bit.
Okay. We're going to talk about that. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about is because we're in this whole relationship, situationship, whatever it is that people talk about nowadays. I've been watching this whole thing about sigma, beta, alpha, and I got really deep into it. Okay. And so in the morning I go to work, I say my prayer, and then I get into it. And I consider myself a sigma female. But here's the thing first. What is the difference? We got to talk about what is the difference between the sigma male, sigma female, the alpha male, alpha female, beta male, beta female, so that we can be able to understand each other, how we roll, how we move in society.
So let's get to sigma male. Let's get it. Or just sigma. Is it the difference between a sigma and woman?
There's no significant difference.
We might just get to it differently, maybe.
Between the two of them, it's the same.
Okay.
Because Julian and I were talking about it, and we figured out that we're the same. We're both sigmas.
Okay, so sigma would include what personality traits?
Sigma has very simple personality traits. We are very simple people. We are introverts, but the way we carry ourselves, we don't have to. Let's say, for instance, we go to a function. We don't have to walk up in the function and say, "Hey, I'm here." The way we dress, the way we walk.
Okay, let's delve in some of this. You gotta. Okay, Julia said because I was about to say because she keeps trying to convince me I'm a sigma.
Bosses.
So, but I'm not very. You know what? Okay, let me talk.
That's why we got to talk about it.
So, some stuff?
Well, listen, I'm not.
I'm
not extroverted in the way that I don't be just out there, right?
Right.
But when I come into the place, I'm out there. Does
Remember
that make sense?
I told you how you walk? You come in, You're like my partner. You guys walk in smooth, and then everybody looks at you. You don't have to say a word.
So that would be okay.
That's an
Let's get it so I can
introverted
understand.
Sigma.
Because
But
I
then
do
you
stay at home
speak.
at light a
Exactly.
lot. I do stay home a lot. But when I do choose to go outside,
You outside.
I'm outside.
Right, but you're
Yeah.
not loud and obnoxious, and you're not taking over the crowd, are you?
No.
Hey, hold
Okay.
up. Wait a
It depends.
minute.
It depends on what we talk about.
Can I
but
pin it down? You want me
No.
to pin it back down?
Okay,
But I don't know.
wait.
I don't
All
take.
right.
So if it's not, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about me. But usually when I'm going to something, it's something that I'm doing.
Right.
So I have to be a certain way. But if I go to your stuff, I don't know if I'm taking over. No. I got stuff to add.
No, you're not taking
I'm gonna
over.
have
We
to figure
don't
this out.
as Sigmas, and this is why I'm saying
I might have to get to this
first
alpha.
of all,
okay.
we got to ask ourselves which of these
Pretty
are
much.
we able to function in society, okay?
Okay,
and
so you
for
say you
other
got-
people, so you got the Sigma.
We got. Well, we ain't done.
Yeah.
You got an introvert, simple. What else?
We're very independent.
Okay.
We are strong-headed. And we have a deep side of us where you don't want to cross.
Self-sufficient.
So I saw solitary. So
We're
you know that's when
solitary.
you're saying
We
it.
like to have we like to have our quiet time.
Okay. All
Okay?
right.
We won't back down.
We don't back down.
Yeah, we will confront
Right.
when needed.
When needed. We are not
Sis, I don't think I thank you, but this is not sounded like
okay. When I get into the alpha part,
okay, just
then
let's
you
go.
let me know if I'm
Can
if
we
I'm
be
wrong.
mixtures of, or do you lean more? You know, like with masculine and feminine energy, you have both of them, but you lean towards one sometimes, or you have more of those characteristics.
I believe we do. I haven't read into that.
Okay,
But
You
I
have a core, but I
right.
think you sway
in and out of
way.
stuff.
in and out of
Exactly.
stuff,
Again,
depending on circumstances.
Yeah.
again,
So
in
Can we hear you?
society.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can
know
hear you.
Mike, but
You can
He
hear
said, "Can you hear him on
You
the
can
thing?"
repeat what I said.
Okay, because he said that you think you have a core, and then you sway in and out of different ones at some time. So
Depending
that
on
could
the
happen.
social
Depending on
Okay,
the-
what else you want to tell us about
Exactly.
Sigma? What else we need to know about Sigma?
Sigmas are very confident people.
Yeah. Okay.
And again, it's how we carry ourselves. We don't have to. We can be a fly on the wall, per se, but we're watching. We're people watchers.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So y'all nosy.
We nosy. We were nosy
let
in
people
a
visit.
silent.
I understand.
And for
I'm nosy. I'll be
here's
like,
my.
on the
over there.
porch, right?
No, I don't do that.
Oh.
I don't.
Yeah,
We're
I ain't
more-
on- I
yes.
ain't
I
on the
analyze
porch.
it too.
I am
We'll see.
very analytical, and I'm always being told that I'm a little too analytical. But that's how I am,
Okay.
and I don't believe that I should change how
Listen,
I am.
I think that
at
I don't think yeah no
I think a piece of you is that.
I think that who me?
Yeah, I think a part of you is that, like when you're training, you're very observant, or when you're trying to give knowledge, you're very observant.
Yes.
You're very calculated. You're very.
I be all in everybody's business.
But it is very direct, calculated, and it's to the point to where you're actually trying to
But do
get
you-
that information in a short
right, but do
point.
you ask?
Ask
Do
what?
you go out and ask people about their business? That's another thing with a Sigma.
Yes.
Do you go there and go, so hey, so I saw you yesterday with
No,
this
that's
dude.
different. No.
What's that all
Let me tell you what I
about?
did in class. Let me tell you what I did in class. Let me tell you. You tell me what I did.
Okay.
So we was in class, and
Right.
so we had individual.
Alpha behavior. Let me tell you what.
Ah,
Let me tell you what we
see?
did. Let me tell you
I
what
said I
we
was alpha. She said I
did.
was
She
Sigma.
said sprinkle.
Anyway, so what had happened was is I'm in class. Watch this. Listen how I am. And he said, I said, do y'all cuss? Because I cussed a little bit. Not with my mama watching. So I said I cuss a little bit, maybe a little extra, but because it's just language for me. And he said, I don't cuss. He said, because I'm a Christian. And he had just told us he had kids. So I said, how old are your kids? He tells me how old his kids was. And so they were after he got married. But it was kind of iffy. I said, well, listen, I have a question. I said, sir, did you have sex before marriage? He said, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I said, well, how you gonna be up here trying to judge somebody?
As a Christian?
How he gonna judge? It was just because of the way he said. I'm not even. It was just that he was talking about he don't cuss because he's a Christian, but he had sex before marriage. So I was just messing with him. I didn't know. So then I asked the class. I said later on. I said, "Is there off limit questions?" One raised her hand so quick. She said, "Yeah, like the question you asked him earlier." I said, "Oh, that was supposed to be. I don't know that it's supposed to be, I don't know that thing's supposed to be off limits. We having a conversation. We're talking, and I would answer questions. And I feel like if you don't want to answer the question, you're supposed to say something like, "That's not something I want to talk about," or whatever your thing is. So then I told him. I said another thing. They was like, I said, well, if you just say it's none of your business, then that's cool. Oh, that's rude. I was like, to say that's none of your, if it ain't none of your business. See, I'm
with you on that one. If it ain't none of your business, it ain't none of your business.
I don't know if there's something that you want to say about Sigma, but the three things that I came up with was strong, innovative, and creative.
And charismatic.
And charismatic, okay.
Very charismatic.
I like it.
Charismatic.
Yes.
I think I'm a little of both.
Both of what?
Alpha and Sigma, because I can sometimes like I could choose to be on the porch, but I don't want to be seen.
Okay.
You know, I could choose to hang with the loud dudes, but I ain't loud.
Okay.
You know, I could choose to be forceful when I need to be forceful, when I need to turn into that alpha. Oh, when I need to go in there, then we go in that bag. But to me, I'm like the male lion, so that is the alpha. I'm gonna lay down in the cut. And then when you call me, then I'm gonna do my job.
That's the Sigma.
That's just what I'm gonna do.
The alpha is the prouncer.
Nah, I'm not a prouncer.
Right. So that's one of the biggest characteristics of a Sigma.
Yeah.
We don't prounce immediately. We watch.
Well, that depends on the situation.
We watch.
Let's because now I'm interested, right? Because she keeps calling me Sigma.
You got a little,
and I've always thought I'm gonna go with Alpha, man.
You sure you want to go with Alpha? Let
me say this. Let me tell you what I know about Alpha. When you're talking about Alpha, when you go to the internet, and you got to do proper studies, because Alpha will show you in a negative light, and that's not what an alpha personality really is. So we're gonna hear what you have to say. I'm just saying that I hope that it's because I've had this problem. I've only talked about alpha because that's all what I knew it was. And then I used to get offended until I deeper studied with some real information. I mean, I say real information. I had to be careful. It's not, you could put whatever you want to put on the internet. And people who are in their feelings look at alpha in a whole horrible way.
That's
like one of the
problem.
first things, but that's what you find on the internet sometimes when you're not paying attention. So what happens is you have somebody that is like assertiveness can look like aggression all day. And so when people are in their feelings and you say something, well, you could have said that was none of my business, then all of a sudden they're like, that's rude to say. No, you in your feelings, because it is none of your business. If it's none of your business, they're just words. But anyway, let's go. Let's see what you got.
Okay.
Let's get Alpha in there.
So let's get with the Alpha.
Okay.
The Alpha is the complete opposite of the Sigma, whereas the Alpha is the extrovert. The Alpha is the hey, I'm here. The Alpha is
check. Let's go.
The Alpha is aggressive. Okay.
You always say you're aggressive.
I am aggressive, but the word is not a wrong. It's not a bad word. No.
While the Sigma usually keeps to themselves.
That ain't her.
I can't agree with Sigma. Go ahead, keep going. Tell us more.
The Alpha thinks outside. The Sigma thinks outside the box, and they have a calm disposition.
Oh no, sis. That's the Sigma.
That's the Sigma. That's what I'm saying.
Let's get back to the Alpha.
The Alpha is the opposite. The Alpha is the prouncer. The Alpha is, I'll come at you right now.
I think you know what I think the difference is. That's why I said you got to be careful too. I always say this: when we're also talking about personality traits, we have to also understand that when you change over to understanding and becoming the Christ-like.
Exactly.
Some of those characteristics seem to die down, but I am a prouncer. I am aggressive. I am self-confident. I am bold. I am extroverted. I am going to grab you. I'm not like into me, right? Now, I can be there, but I think for me, the reason why stuff is calculated is not because I'm a Sigma. It's because I hear the Holy Spirit telling me I better not do that.
Right.
No, for real.
Yeah.
It
Don't
ain't
do
somebody
that.
say something to me, I have to like regulate my thought in my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Right. And I've practiced that. I've been saved. I've been ordained since 2011. So listen, I think that those are my characteristics. That's why you got to be careful, because when you talk about anything, even when you're talking about, people talk about zodiac signs and stuff, and I really don't believe them, but I think the characteristics are similar around there. But when they start talking about an Aries, I'm like, that is exactly who I was before I was saved. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I don't mean, I'm not trying to get these religious conversations, but I mean like that's really who I was before.
Okay.
So when you're talking about that, I'm still aggressive, sis.
I am
I
too.
just choose not to be.
I am aggressive too. People don't see it.
But we could
That's
get in the
why-
streets if we go to the street.
Yeah, we'll get in the streets, and you can confirm that with my daughter.
Tell me what
I
else is a.
am-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, let me
No, go ahead, finish. I
let me
want
go
you-
to the alpha. Let me continue with the alpha.
Yeah.
So here are some of the traits of the alpha.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I'm gonna say alpha in general,
Yeah.
male and female.
Okay.
So they're confident.
Okay.
They're very well balanced.
Okay.
Okay. They're not a pushover.
Oh, okay.
They can accept criticism.
Yes.
They don't compete with others.
That's definitely me. I ain't. I ain't competing.
Oh, I'm just
They're
putting my hand
not-
up.
I'm
intimidated.
just gonna hit you right there because you put your hand up.
They're not intimidated.
I need your
They're
notes.
very smart.
Yeah.
And they have the best intentions.
I
That's an alpha.
I'm gonna go with
Okay?
alpha.
So, but here is the thing. When it comes to an alpha compared to a sigma, okay? The sigma, again, we're back. We push back. We pull back, rather. As a sigma, we pull back. We don't come up in a situation. We don't take over. Okay?
Yes,
Whereas
ma'am.
the alpha, and I'm talking about male and female, okay? The alpha pushes forward. You know they're in the limelight. Hey, I'm here. They loud. You don't seem to be that way.
I think you got to know me. I think she might got to know me a little bit.
You tend to come in after. What I'm saying is the alpha comes in right away.
I think those are about learning how to calculate my steps,
You have
because
to.
I really want to just go in and be like this, right? So I appreciate and I'm grateful that you can see that in me, because that's works that I have to do all the time. Because even though you operate in certain characteristics, sometimes you have to manage them. Like
Right.
when you notice that people don't like you just coming in taking charge all the time, then you got to say, wait a minute, Tameca, this ain't your thing. But that's why I created my own company. You know that, because I wanted. I couldn't submit. I couldn't commit. I
ain't
was like,
doing that. I
listen,
ain't
no, I'm
doing
not
that.
doing that, and I don't own nothing. I'm telling them I'm not doing that, or that. So I think that it's a little smoother just because I do a lot of self-reflection and I pay attention to behavior. Right?
Yeah.
And because I pay attention to behavior, I see how people act. Like we had a situation where she was about to let that guy not get in that class.
Right.
Then, right?
And I
She
saw
was
how
full,
you
though.
pulled back.
I didn't want to, but I
I
was all
saw
in that
how you
business.
pulled back. You know what I did? Now cutting you off. You know what I did? From the time I saw him walking and how he was treated, I just said my little prayer and I was like, no.
Yeah,
That ain't gonna
unfortunately, I
happen today.
had two people that was able to, that didn't need to be in my class. But she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong, but they should have told him that when he said it. She wasn't wrong. Both of the classes were full.
They
But she wasn't wrong.
but they weren't late. That's
I know,
my thing.
but
That's
we
what I
can't-
look at.
Listen,
Is
that
it
we
the
gonna
first
talk about that
12?
We're gonna
later.
talk about
Is it
that.
the
It's the first 12. It is,
first
but we had the
12?
first 24, and he was after the 24.
Oh, they
So we had to do something different. So let's get into. We're gonna get into the. Oh, you got some notes. Okay, we're gonna get into the. What's the next one? Beta. Or you
Yeah,
still have
I just got a note thing here. I gotta read this off. Okay. So here's the alpha. Dominant leaderships. They crave being in charge and respected, often leading social groups and projects. Social and outgoing. Alphas are extroverted, enjoying the spotlight and commanding attention. Competitive drive. They thrive on competition and achieving success, sometimes at the expense of others.
Okay, and this so again,
At the expense of others.
no, but listen, you got to
That's
hear what I'm
life.
saying. You got to hear what I'm saying, because I believe this. You can still some of those parts. It takes it too far, but when you are able to reel yourself back in, I'm never gonna do anything at the expense of others. But I'm competitive. But guess who I compete with? Myself.
Okay.
All day, every day.
And that's good.
And so I am. I still think that those characteristics are who I am. Organize social groups. I'll take charge. So I remember we did this experiment it was a leadership building, and you get these blocks, and you're supposed to put the blocks together and all this other stuff and do whatever. Now I had to make myself not be in charge. I was sitting there like, so finally I said, okay, listen. Listen. I said, I need us to read the instructions first. If we read the instructions, we'll probably be able to get it faster, but we just throwing blocks together and we haven't read the instructions. But I'm gonna leave it alone. Because my first brain is I wanted to jump in and say, let's read the instructions. And then I'm annoyed when you don't do it in that order because it just makes more sense to me, right? So I think those are still my characteristics. However, with the help of the Holy Spirit, I'm a little bit different. But if you talked about me before that, I definitely still agree. I just think that, and I still got a struggle in my
So you
head.
seek validation from external.
I don't need, the external thing is not external because I seek validation from God. So you're going to keep bringing it to God. But before, that would have been something that I wanted.
Okay, so that's one of the characteristics of an alpha.
I know, but you're still not listening.
I am listening.
I understand those are characteristics of alpha, but I'm telling you, those are things that I had. See, when you listen, when you actually get into the knowledge of Christ, right? And I don't want to make this one of those type of sermons
Right.
or type of things, but when you get into that, the things that are not too conducive for Christ in your personality, you have to change them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
These are not my characteristics. They're similar. But when you talk about everything else that you said, I have a dominant personality. I gather social groups. I am very competitive, but not any longer. Now I compete with myself, but I used to compete with people, and I like people to say good job and all that other stuff. When I learned, but because of the knowledge I have, not even just the knowledge of God, but even having knowledge, I know people ain't gonna validate you. So why am I? So I also operate in reality. So I would always be messed up if I waited for that to come from other people. But I had to get healed to understand that. So yes, let's go, Sigma. You want to tell us about the
I think
Sigma?
you're a mixture of a combination. I think we're all mixtures because.
Well, that's what Julian was saying, right?
In our profession, sometimes we have to be that alpha. We have to snatch those people.
Let's look at
Beta.
Did you have?
And one quick thing before y'all, there is a slight difference with men and women. So it's kind of different.
Gender stereotype.
Gender roles.
Yeah.
Is it more like roles or just characteristics?
It's saying more in line with masculinity when you talk about that.
That for alpha, yeah, if they got some of the feminine.
Can you
Yeah.
see that male one, please?
Let's not see the male ones. Because I need her to.
Okay.
Those are the ones
Let's
that
get-
Oh.
give you this a little,
Yeah.
those characteristics.
So should we get into the beta, or you guys want me to read off the
I want to know the difference
gender?
between
Yeah.
gender difference between. Are we talking about Sigma or Alpha?
alpha?
They're both on.
Okay.
They're both. Yeah, I noticed they're both on there. Okay, so here it is. The gender stereotypes. Alpha traits like dominance, and more typically associated with masculinity, while sigmas, independence leans toward a stereotype of individuality, often linked to men. Women in leadership, women who display assertive leadership qualities can sometimes be perceived negatively, unlike their male counterpart.
Who
So
don't like that? But for men, but for women, they looking at it like it's an issue.
Exactly. Socialization, society of often often socializes women to be more collaborative and relationship oriented, which can differ from the lone wolf Sigma image.
I am not alone. I am not alone with anything. Like, I like to be in my own space, but I
Right.
spend a lot of time with people, and I believe in relate. That's all of my podcast is about. That's everything that I talk about, and I'm very collaborative with people. So I network out here. So we gonna get. Listen, we need to do part 2, 3, 4, 5.
And that's
Yeah,
why I
these-
said in the
these is-
beginning,
Did I
we
say
need,
four?
we need a
Mama,
part
I meant
A
4.
and B.
This can get deep.
So let's
It can
get to
get really deep.
Let's get to beta, and then when we come back, we're gonna talk about. We're gonna do this again. We're gonna talk about which ones do we think we are. I want you to research what, so that we can now have that type of conversation. Because again, when we're talking about, so even just real quick, when we talk about this, relates to feminine, masculine energy for me. So when you are a person that been operating in their masculine energy so long, stuff starts to get all blurred and stuff. Does that make
Yes.
sense? And so these are conversations where you start to talk about, now, how do I appropriately operate in these different things?
Right.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Right.
So if I'm gonna say I'm an alpha, there's some things I gotta like check myself about, like
Right.
competing with other people.
Yeah.
There's no reason. No, at any cost, there's no reason to do that, because you're born to win. Period. You was placed on here to win. Okay, I ain't gonna summary y'all out. Okay,
And there's
beta.
nothing wrong with that.
No.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to be a winner.
It
There's
isn't-
nothing wrong with wanting to compete, but it depends
On how you compete.
exactly.
And yes,
Exactly.
So
because
let's-
you got the sports.
yeah.
We compete every
Let's
day.
talk about beta.
Okay.
Let's see
Let's
what
get
beta.
into beta. Betas are like alphas. They're high achievers, okay? However, betas keep the peace. They're more the homely people.
Passive.
They're more, yeah, unlike the alpha, where they like to go in pursuit of things. So here's what I just got. The concept of beta personalities often gets overshadowed by alpha and sigma, but they have their own distinct set of characteristics. Here's a breakdown of what they are. Supportive and loyal. Betas are very supportive and loyal. Betas are known for being kind, agreeable, which is not always very good, and helpful. They prioritize building strong relationships and are fiercely loyal to their friends and family. I associate myself with this a little bit.
Okay.
Okay?
I think we need the betas as well, because the betas are like the helpers. The betas is your friends that are going to support you no matter
Yeah.
what, that
Yeah.
you're going to ask them to do some stuff. They're going to do that stuff. They're going to not ask you a whole lot of questions. They're going to nurture you. You know what I'm saying? So betas, I mean, everybody has their position.
Yeah.
Everybody has their position.
Yeah.
What else?
They're team leaders. They
Team
value
player.
cooperation and working together towards a common goal. Betas are often the glue that holds teams together, fostering a positive and collaborative environment.
So team players.
Team players.
Okay.
Conflict averse. Thank you. While they can be assertive, betas generally dislike conflict, and they will go to the great lengths to maintain harmony. They might prioritize compromise and keeping the peace over asserting their own needs.
So that's where we start to come and understanding our personality traits, and we have to say, well, that is not very healthy. That's not something. I need to be able to say what I need to say, because passive communication does not fix conflict resolution. It does not help them get the best healthy relationships that they have. Right? So I talk about these different so that's what I was saying about when you start to look at the different characteristics. Now you start to say, okay, which one of these that I really want, and then which one of these that I might need to work on that. Right? Now sometimes it's okay to leave stuff alone. Right? It's okay to be like, it ain't that serious. But when I have to now stand up for myself, I need to be able to do that, even if it means I break up the peace sometimes.
Right.
I mean, sometimes you got to break up the peace in order to resolve a conflict. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I believe in conflict resolution. I was just telling somebody today that they're passive aggressive, and I said, listen, I could tell something shifted. You're going to need to tell me because I don't even know what just happened.
Right.
And they said whatever they said. I said, I didn't even think nothing about that. I was just, cause see, listen, I don't be knowing, right? I just was saying something, and then I just went on, right? I was like, let me just continue, and that person's demeanor changed, and that's why I'm saying you paying attention. And I'm like, what happened? And when they told me, I was like, oh, I cannot do that no more. That's easy.
Exactly.
Right.
But anyway,
right.
So what else we got for
So
beta?
here we got for beta. Sometimes mistaken for submissiveness. A beta's genuine kindness and support can be a powerful asset. They create a stable and secure foundation for those around them. Okay? Potential downsides. A beta's desire for harmony can lead to people-pleasing tendencies.
Yes.
They might struggle to say no or set boundaries.
Can we listen? Let's look in the camera real quick. I need y'all to look at the camera. No, let's everybody say it together so that we understand. There is power in a no.
What?
No.
Learn.
No,
to
there is a
say
power
I will
in a
say
no.
no in the quickness.
Quick.
Listen. No.
Tell them no.
No. No means no.
No didn't.
Oh, you hey, Julian need to be on the show today. He acting up, y'all.
Yeah.
He acting like, hey, hit up Julian's station, Central City Radio. Like, share, promote, subscribe,
Download.
love, come, chill.
Yeah.
Oh, my phone is off. Y'all already liked and subscribed it. What, you got to like it on the live?
Yeah, if you guys do it,
I'm already on there.
build it up.
Okay.
Already.
You're
on
talking
there.
about while we're doing the thing?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to do
Like
it today,
and
but I got
subscribe,
you.
y'all. Like and
Oh, because we
subscribe.
already okay, but we do it okay.
Download,
so y'all,
like,
yeah, because
subscribe,
Julian,
Central City
we
Radio.
gonna get Julian on the show so that we can pick his brain so he can talk
Nina
about
Soul.
the new sound of Phoenix is going down. You have
Yes,
a
you
lot of
do.
brain over there. Julian is the brain of this thing. He be on us. He be on us. I just look down because he be making his little notes, making sure. Listen, if I want to keep going, I gotta look down. But anyway, yeah, y'all like, subscribe, share.
Now that we talked about some of that stuff, I think you are right. I think we just gumbo when you kind of think about alpha, beta, sigma, all that good stuff. Because there's certain times you need to be the alpha, or sometimes you need to be a beta, and there's sometimes you need to be a sigma. You know, and for women, I think that's more intricate because y'all are the caregivers of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not gumbo, then
We definitely,
There you go.
definitely, it's just a lot. That's a lot to unpack, really.
Yeah.
Because I'm unpacking it with masculine and feminine energy. I'm unpacking it with healing. I'm unpacking it with you done went to my sweet spot with, talking about why the world's so messed up because these women is so hard, man. Our female African American, actually minority women, we're just hard. We have had to do too much for so long, and these children are not loved. And the problem with them is that they are not. They haven't gotten the nurture part of it. Remember last year we talked about Maslow's hierarchy for basic needs and how to get to your self-actualization.
Yes.
So there's so much stuff, man. We don't have time to do that today. But listen, I challenge y'all this week. I challenge y'all to figure out: are you operating in alpha,
Sigma
or beta?
Yeah, or beta.
Yeah, we need to know, and we just hit a few points. We don't have time to give them all to you today, but we have hit a few points, and maybe you guys can talk about that. Maybe we need to come back and talk about them separately,
Yes.
because there's a lot of information. I'm trying to just hit these topics, man. Y'all watch out for Let's Go Sis movement. It's coming back. We're going to start the seminars, and the seminars is where we can really delve in. You can ask your questions, and you can see how to maximize some of the characteristics, how to minimize some of the other ones, right? Because for real, it really is about
balance.
It really is about balance, and it's about, you can say no or you can say yes, right? But you got to not be people pleasing.
Right.
When you people pleasing, man, they'll have you doing everything, especially if you you link up with the wrong person,
And
right?
learn to say no.
She said it again.
Hey, one more
But-
time.
Or a block
Don't
delete.
compromise yourself trying to be loyal to somebody else.
Yeah.
And if you find that person ain't willing to get in the ring
You
and
know,
box
he
with
take
you,
off his glasses.
you walk
Y'all know
out
it's
too.
serious.
He took
Just
off his
walk out
glasses.
too. Because
He's-
look here, man. When you fight by yourself, you hurt yourself.
You can't see him?
Period.
Where?
That's the camera?
Yeah.
Oh, listen.
Nah, my eyes just squinty. You know, the black
Listen,
Chinese
okay.
man.
The black Chinese man.
Listen, he said do not compromise yourself for somebody else, man. But listen, will you come back?
I will.
We
Can
might
we
need
have a part B?
we need Vanessa. We might need Vanessa to come back for a couple little sessions. I like you. Hey, somebody asked me where you from. I think they might have been trying to shoot their shot. I don't know.
Don't shoot your shot.
Uh-oh.
But where are you from?
666
Originally?
900.
Born in British Guyana, raised on Aruba, small island in the Caribbean. Small island in the Caribbean.
Okay.
All right.
That's about it that you're gonna get.
I said something southern or something. I don't
You
know.
know.
No.
I mean southern. That's all I said.
We
Something
noticed the
Spanish. I
sm-
said.
we
No.
noticed the
I said
smooth
something
tongue.
Spanish.
West Indian, Caribbean.
I didn't
That's
remember,
what I
so
would've
I had
said.
made
I
up
seen
something.
the West Indian
Listen,
smooth.
I don't know. All I know is she be talking Spanish to the people. So
I
I
speak
mean,
Spanish too.
I just, hey,
Yeah.
listen. Hey, listen. So we are excited about. I am excited about this next year, man.
Let's
I
go.
really am. God is doing some things in the
Yes.
atmosphere to where we are able to connect. Hey, listen. If y'all want to talk on the podcast or get your own podcast, hit me up. Right, so that we can promote Julian. Please, y'all
Yes.
download the Central City Radio app. He is jamming. Okay. What did you ask me? What did you say?
Oh, we in there.
The
Oh,
app
yeah,
is
you in there
jamming.
jamming.
Yeah, the app is jamming. There is a
Good.
lot going on. Yeah, play that in your car. Play that at your parties. Play that when you going to sleep, man. Listen, we have to start supporting our people for real.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And so
I'm
he has
gonna
been really
need to learn how to
consistent.
download that old school music you was playing, man. That some of that music is timeless.
Can we down? We can't download the music. We can only download the app, huh?
But if you need to download music,
I think I'm gonna have Let's Talk Sis podcast on the app very shortly, so y'all will be able to listening to my
There we
podcast on the apps. Right, Julian? Okay. Anyway, so but y'all check us out, man. We'll be back here next week, the same time, same place, same radio station, and we out this piece, y'all.
Hey, convos up, y'all. Y'all know what it is.